So I was actually looking into a different husband and wife duo when this one popped up, and it's from 2021, but it has a conclusion, and holy shit, what is wrong with people? Former Livingston deputy and ex-wife accused of crimes can be tried separately, judge rules. Alrighty. And there's no videos. I thought there was a couple on the next article, but they're not. They're just a bunch of ads that won't run forever. Livingston, a judge has ruled that a former Livingston Parish Sheriff's deputy and his ex-wife, who together face a slew of crimes charges, may be tried separately. The decision Friday by Judge Erica Sledge in the case of Dennis and Cynthia Perkins marked a reversal for the judge's early ruling on the matter. She said on June 8 that the jointly indicted couple must stand trial together. Dennis Perkins, 45, and his now ex-wife Cynthia Perkins, 36, faced 150 felony charges alleging, you know how it is, child battery of a child, video voyeurism, and tainting pastries that children later ate at school. The pair was arrested in 2019 after a 5-year investigation and indicted via the same court document, setting them up to stand trial together. There's the complete waste of air. But the case has been beset by logistical complications over the past months. Defense lawyers have at turns asked that their clients' trials be served in two and that the July 12th start date for the joint trial be delayed. Perkins' attorney, Anthony Jarrett Ambo, argued 2 weeks ago that Cynthia Perkins planned to mount an adversarial defense against her ex-spouse if the two stood trial together and that the trial should be separated. On Friday, the defense lawyer added that Cynthia Perkins would effectively become a witness against her ex-husband in a joint trial scenario. Dennis Perkins would then be stripped of his Sixth Amendment right to cross-examine her, and Bo argued. So let me guess, she's going to turn, they call it in the movies, she's going to turn state's evidence, and then they'll drop a bunch of her crap likely. It's my feeling that they're going to blame Mr. Perkins, Ambo said, and he won't be able to confront that witness because she's sitting at the table with him. Ridiculous. I'm explaining her decision to grant Ambo's request after initially denying it. Sledge pointed to new evidence requested by Cynthia Perkins' lawyer James Spokes. Spokes on Friday described voluminous amounts of digital data showing Sheriff Department background checks that Dennis Perkins ran on women he had consensual relationships with during his tenure as a deputy. He hopes to review and copy that evidence in Cynthia Perkins' defense. Spokes said, yes, anytime, think about it. When they take your license back to their car, what are they doing with it? Are they taking a picture of it? Are they writing it down? Right now, trust zero of them. We're talking terabits of data on these hard drives, he said. The evidence forms new grounds for the argument that Dennis Perkins would face an antagonistic defense from Cynthia Perkins, the judge said. The court felt earlier that there weren't specific enough reasons for severance, Sledge said. The court now has specific information about Miss Perkins' defense at trial. Again, a squad and a firearm, that's the only cure for that. The Louisiana Attorney General's office, which is prosecuting the case, on Friday reiterated its argument against severing the trials. This is the same argument all over again, Assistant Attorney General Barry Milligan said, just dressed up. The matter of whether to serve the trials resurfaced during a motions hearing on Ambo's request for the trial date to be pushed back from July 12. He had previously asked for a later trial date as Dennis Perkins pondered a plea deal. On Friday, though, the defense attorney explained that he faced a scheduling conflict with another trial in East Louisiana Parish, also set to begin July 12. The trial is a death row case, he said. He expects he'll have to cross-examine up to 15 witnesses on the stand. It's absolutely necessary that it be there, Ambo said. Assistant Attorney General Erica McLeland argued that the trial start date has been set for more than a year and that delays could harm victims and their families. Or how about, I don't know, get another fucking attorney. See, he's one of the gang members, so he gets an attorney given to him. And this attorney has decided he's busy right then. Sledge on Friday sided with the Attorney General's office. I do understand your position, Mr. Ambo, and it's a difficult one. She said, you'll do whatever you have to do. Dennis Perkins' trial set to begin July 12, the same day on which the ex-couple's joint trial had been slated to begin. Cynthia Perkins' trial date has not been decided. A squad and a firearm. And that's where we're at with that one. So, like I said, this one, unlike the other ones that I'm holding, waiting for a conclusion, this one has a conclusion. This is from, let's say, 2021. June 25th, 2021. Former Louisiana deputy gets 100-year prison sentence for, and this is January 5th, 2023. And these will not show any video to go with, so I'll just read the article. A former Louisiana deputy accepted a 100-year prison sentence in a plea deal for a slew of horrific, including on cupcakes that his wife fed to her junior high school students. Let that sink in. And the wife knew he did it. Dennis Perkins, formerly with the Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office, pled guilty on Tuesday to 2 counts of a child under 13 video voyeurism and 2 counts of CP. He was also charged with 1 count of mingling harmful substances after his wife, a teacher, put his semen into cupcakes that she gave to students at Livingston Westside Junior High School. By pleading guilty, Perkins avoided a lengthy trial that could have forced young victims to testify and relive the traumatizing crimes, the newspaper said. He and his wife, Cynthia Perkins, were indicted on 150 related charges following her arrest in 2019. Let's not forget, they investigated these people for 5 years. For the 5 years they were investigating them, were they still investigating them for 5 years? She pled guilty to second-degree production of CP and conspiracy of mingling harmful substances in February 2022 as part of a plea deal. 68 of the 70 charges against her were dropped, and she agreed to testify against Dennis had his trial. As part of her plea deal, 68 of the 72 charges against her were dropped, and she agreed to testify against Dennis had his trial moved forward. Got you. So he's like, no. She's like, hey, you're going to drop all this shit? Yeah, 68. She's still sentenced to 41 years in prison. They should die in prison. They should die on the cold prison floor is what should happen to them. And I'm just hoping when they go to prison, he'll probably be in single seg. She doesn't have the privilege because she's not part of the club. So she'll probably be in general population, and it will not take long for word to get out and get around, and maybe they'll get the justice that they so deserve. She filed for divorce from her husband following their arrest and alleged that he had manipulated her into committing the crimes. She resigned from Westside Junior High School the day after her arrest. She resigned after her arrest. They had to know that she was being investigated. They investigated him for 5 years. Was anybody else in there watching her? They investigated these people for 5 years. And she resigned the day after she was arrested. Let that sink in. These people are in the schools. They're in the scouts. They're in the explore. They're in law enforcement. They're DAs. They're judges. They're. You can't get rid. This is why in law enforcement you can't get rid of them. According to the advocate, Dennis Perkins' trial was scheduled to start on Monday, where he would have faced 78 charges. His trial was delayed last year after the state dumped as many as 800,000 digital files it obtained, and his lawyer requested additional time to review them. The paper, of course, hey, we got a bunch of shit, but we're going to give it to you at the last minute so you can, prolong this. Perkins, 47, will spend the rest of his life in prison per his plea deal. He not only waived any right to appeal probation or parole and any attempt to avoid conviction, but Mr. Perkins also spared the victims from reliving his horrific crimes during trial, said Attorney General Jeff Landry, whose office prosecuted the case, told the Advocate. Disgusting. Perkins apologized to his victims and to the community he used to serve in court, of course. I would like to say I'm sorry. I spent more than 3 years living in a box. It's not about me. I just want to make the statement. Jesus Christ has forgiven me. I'm grateful for that. I'm pretty sure you're spending your days in hell. I hope and pray that anybody that this has affected would also find forgiveness and healing through Jesus Christ. He said, now they say that you can commit all these crimes and you can do everything you want to do, but when you die and you get to the pearly gates, you can ask for forgiveness and you can go to heaven. Where are we at? Let me know in the comments where we're at with that, because this seems like they will rot in hell, but I don't know. Apparently you can ask for forgiveness for everything. Prior to Perkins speaking, one woman provided a victim statement to the court condemning Perkins' sick, deplorable actions. You will no longer have control over your victims anymore, she said, according to the Advocate. I'm so thankful I don't have to sit in this courtroom with you or your attorney again. Have a nice life in prison. Perkins, who has been with the sheriff's office since 2002, and this was in 19 years. There's no wonder they got the plethora of information they have been commander of the agency's SWAT unit. The newspaper reported Perkins and his wife were busted in 2019 after authorities received a tip at the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Investigators later uncovered a photo of them nude with a minor, police said. A lawsuit filed against Dennis Perkins and Livingston Parish School System claims that Cynthia Perkins filmed her husband supplying semen to the cupcakes that were later fed to children at Westside Junior High School. Count 15 in the original indictment against the couple alleges the semen was mixed into both the desserts and energy drinks before it was served to victims. Let that sink in. And they got, 800,000 images and videos and stuff of, he has been a part of the N Club, the Blue Line Gang, since 2002. There is no way nobody knew what this fucking degenerate and his bitch-ass wife was doing. I'm sorry, people can like how I'm talking or not. This is ridiculous. 2002. And they were under investigation for 5 years, and she still worked at that school for 5 years while she was under investigation. Somebody had to know. Somebody had to. There's no way this just came to light and it is what it is. But it is what it is, and they're going to prison, and hopefully, sorry people don't like this, that's where they die. And not from old age. So, let me know your thoughts about these two absolute waste of air in the comments. Also, 90% of you are not subscribed to this channel. I'm going to keep saying it. You're at your computer. All you got to do is move the mouse. You got your phone in your hand. Your finger's right there. Click the button. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts about these. I'll say degenerates, but because I can't think of anything more right this moment. And like and share, and I'm out.